television when I go for the head. Swing the scissor blade, take off your top, gonna catch a fade. All you're seeing is red. Cutting ties, just wanna die, my life's alive, but they still be wishing the best for me. For the ones that I love, I'm trained to be deadly. Taking the breath, I lay you to risk, get put to the test. I showed it was pain to the death of me. Pain hurts a lot, feels like a fresh wound when you got shot. Like a friend when they said they'll stay to the end, they'll write you out cause they got. Been held back, strangled by leashes. Every night been fighting my demons. But when I pull up my toy, I've been looking for peace. So I cut you in pieces, but the sense I'll play to get even.
I don't ever feel, they just cut it right through. I'll never keep it sealed, do it cause I want to. My father kept it real, covered in the blood of the enemies I've killed. And I've waited, it's my moment to rise above all the evil dividing the rage in my heart, it tore me apart, now I'm just numb.
On the track.
I know that choice is karma, perfume regret. You got me thinking about where you were mine. And now I'm all up on you. What you expect? You're not coming home with me tonight.
I forgot to mention, I don't ever feel.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to the One Podcast. I am your host, JCWTF. And we have a returning guest, actually. If you have been with me through this entire interview series, you know that I did an episode with another person and this person. We will not talk about the other person for a bit. But, ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome back to Tsuyo.
Hey, everybody.
Alright, welcome back to the show, man. It's been a minute since you've been on here. How have you been?
I've been good, man. Just working. School's coming back, so it's about to be kind of hectic, but you know.
Yeah, of course. School is always hectic when it comes to one, music, two, in general. So
yeah,
I can
exactly.
I can understand
Definitely
where you're coming from.
really difficult.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Freedom. Hello, kids. WTF. Welcome to the stream. All right. So, last time you came on the show, if I remember correctly, you mainly said that you were just still an artist, like in general. Has your opinion changed? Like, I'm more of a rapper, or I'm more of a singer, etc. Or is it still like in the middle, or is it like both that you're a rapper and a singer, or are you like expanding basically?
That's actually a good question because as of recent, I've been trying to figure that out. For myself as someone who is making songs and constantly progressing when it comes to the music, and I think I still consider myself to be an artist. I can rap, I can sing, I can mix and master, I can pretty much do all the things that come together when being an artist, especially being an artist in nerdcore, but I have a lot of skill sets that I put into my music if people hear them. So it's a matter of understanding me as an artist and less of putting a label onto it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. So basically you're saying like, oh, I'm pretty much everything. I'm not just like said rapper, singer, etc. You're like open-minded basically, is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, I'm very open-minded to like just new ideas and new things. I love learning new things, not only for myself but from peers who I work with, so that's what I take pride in.
It's awesome, man. All right, so I guess we can start with like the backstory of like not just YouTube but music in general, because if I remember correctly, when I met you, I thought that was like when I turned 15, and two, you told me that you did a music originally. I saw like a whole playlist of like all your old tracks. You went by, what is it, Kid Ichigo or something?
Yeah.
Oh god. Okay. And Walnut got Walnut got joined the stream. What's up, Walnut?
Yeah, what's up, Walnut?
Tsuyo, I love you, white girls. No.
Oh my god, he's so weird.
For real, bro. For real.
It's all good. It's all love.
Anyways, now going back to what I was saying, like you went by Kate Ichigo when you started doing music, but I'm pretty sure you had another name before that, right?
Yeah, I wasn't in the nerdcore community before. It definitely drastically changed the way I looked at music at the time because I saw nerdcore as a very different thing, and I didn't see what you could actually do with the concept of nerdcore and the genre of nerdcore. And at first, I was Eghost on SoundCloud. I would make a lot of emo rap, kind of like Juice World, Lil Peep type songs. I even got an AMV for one of the songs. Hold My Hand is super old, like I think 2020. That song came out. And then I found out what nerdcore was, and I wanted to explore what it all entailed and how everything worked in the community. Because the idea of being able to make tracks for video games, anime, and just any kind of pop culture and media, it sparks something in me because it's so easy to tell stories that way, you know, and because it's your favorite characters, you can get into their psyche and them as, you know, characters, because you can write that with how you feel and how they feel when you watch the anime or you play the video game or you read the manga, etc., etc. You can get into that with the music and you can connect with other people. So when I found out about nerdcore, I wanted to explore that. But back then, I was still learning a lot about making music, and I still am. So it was kind of like, you know, just like learning from it and trying to learn from other artists, because even then at the time, a lot of people who I currently work with, were like around at the same time as me, and they were also learning. So I had a lot of people to kind of jump off from, in a way.
Yeah. Okay. What was like your, like, you mentioned the inspiration from nerdcore, but aside from that, what made you decide to be like, you know what, I want to upload my stuff directly towards what is it, like YouTube or like something like that? Because there are also like other streaming platforms like Spotify, and if I remember correctly, you had a song way before you even started doing nerdcore called what is it, Suicide, when you went by I apologize if I can't say the original name. If it's, I'm pretty sure it was your name, right? With just the T in there.
ATK. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What inspired, like, just to... Fuck, I'm trying to think what I was gonna say. I apologize.
It's all good.
Yeah. The transition was you wanted to obviously expand, like, your horizons of not just music, but also everything as a whole. Is that correct?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you believe that, obviously, that people can also expand their horizons of music as well?
Definitely. That is actually something that, if you know me very well, you know that I absolutely, like, I will always tell people, you could ask Walnut, you could ask Key, any of my close friends that I make music with, they always hammer in the idea that you need to be listening to other kinds of music as a musician yourself, because those are the things you will learn from. I wouldn't have improved as much as I would have liked to, because at first I was listening to a lot of music, but I wasn't putting that in my own work. But then I realized that I can learn from, you know, these concepts and these people and what they're making, so I can put that into my own work and my own body of work and make it into my own. As an artist, it's very important to use your inspirations, study them, and learn from them, so that way you're making your own work better. And that is something I definitely suggest people to do.
That's obviously like amazing advice, dude. Alright. If I remember correctly, also, you had other, like, projects aside from music going on. I think you were actually you finished like a manga series, or not, or didn't finish. You started a manga series with your friend. Is that correct?
Yeah, Kagami 360. We made a manga one shot called Mercy about two friends who started boxing together, and then they ended up becoming enemies near the end, and stuff like that. So yeah, I did do that.
Awesome, dude. All right. If aside from the manga whole thing, if I correct me if I'm wrong, you had like other like what's the word? Fucking I don't know the word. But you did something else before you did music. I think if I remember, you said in a VC with Phantom Chimera, a few people before they got canceled, Jacob, and a few other people that you used to do voice acting. What made you decide to be like, I want to transition from voice acting to making music?
That is a really good question because I even forget that I was a voice actor at one point. Yeah, I actually, it's still up, but it's like one video, and it's funny because I had one line, and number two, I recorded this one line off of my computer microphone, as in like I had to lift up the microphone from under the computer to talk into it and say that line. So it was like a Beyblade Burst of Bridge series, if I remember correctly. Um, and generally, like voice acting, I was very inspired by a bridge series, so I wanted to do them, and I would, you know, share my voice out there and all that back then because I was very inspired by voice actors, and I still am because I do want to pursue voice acting somewhat in the future. It's something very like little known about me, so the fact that it's like the fact that you even asked that was like a really good question because it's something that I do plan to get back into, but it's such a like a niche thing about me. It's like no one really knows that, so that's a good question.
I just remember, yeah, like I just remembered that, and we were in like a whole VC. You did like a Sonic the Hedgehog voice. All I remember is "You're too slow," and I'm like, wait, what the fuck, Tsuyo? Since when can you do that shit? You mentioned that you did like a
Yeah.
bridge.
Yeah, I can I can somewhat voice act a little bit. I'm not crazy because I haven't done it in so long, but I do really plan to get back into it. I've been trying to research and learn about it more and watch a lot of voice actors do their thing, in the studio, and it's just something that has just been in the back of my mind. But yeah, that's a really good question. Like that threw me off guard because I had no idea that you would ask that. But yeah.
Hey, I'm a man of many things. One of them is being broke, and you know that for a fact. Anyways. Anyways, yeah. What was the transition from that to making music?
Because mind you, it's like as a person, I cannot put myself, especially when it comes to the arts, I literally cannot put myself in a box because I can do like drawing and like what's it called, graphic design and voice acting and mixing and mastering and music, stuff like that. I can do all those things. Like it's because I'm such an open, like minded person. I don't go to one thing. I even like write, like I write poetry and such, and that's actually how I got into rapping in the first place, was through poetry and all that. And it's like the transition is so weird because I've switched through a lot of different things. It's not even as if this was the only kind of avenue that I had, because I'm not even doing music as like my major in college. I'm actually doing film, which is something I also did around the same time that I was doing small time kind of voice roles. So it's kind of like I don't necessarily transition. I just take breaks from what I used to do, and then if I feel like coming back to it, I can circle back.
Okay. What the whole video direct like editing too. What is it? You said that you or not you said like you mentioned on Twitter like, yo, I'm gonna start editing my own stuff, like transitioning from Filmora to After Effects. What made you think like, you know what? I wanna try editing my own stuff from now on or something like that.
Oh yeah, 1 second.
Alright.
Gotta-
Also, hello, K92 and Sam, welcome to the stream. He does say that a lot, for real. I hope my mic isn't like quiet though, chat. Like, okay. Already 6 people. Bro, Jesus Christ. Already 6 people like this shit. Jesus Christ. Faster than any one of my tracks can do.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, welcome back.
My bad about that.
It's all good. Alright.
Okay, your question was?
You said on Twitter that you're gonna start editing your tracks or like editing like for yourself from now on. What made you think like I want to start doing more like editing myself, basically?
I think that came from the fact that just overall paying for AMVs is hard. Even though I have people I can go to get AMVs, if I'm not financially there, or we can work for whatever entails. But I just feel like having that in my arsenal would be so cool. Just to be like, oh yeah, I can edit too. So if I need to make my own video that week or something, then I can do that myself. Or if someone needs a video, that's more income in my pockets if I know how to do that. So that's also another reason why I consider it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Alright, but hold on. Hello, Wick. Welcome to the stream. Ain't no way the homie JC. Hey, yo, what's up, Braku VA? Welcome to the stream, bro. How you been? Okay, fuck. I'm just gonna move the chat in the middle. Cause it's no way. Alright. Okay. Now, when it comes to inspirations with, like, I'd say music in general, I'm guessing, one, you have a lot of inspirations when it comes to that.
Yes.
Do you have, like, a main person that you would, like, be like, yo, this is definitely who inspired me to do music or, like, something like that?
That is very hard. I wouldn't say I have a main person. I can tell you who the people are. Really just like a lot of, but I actually, yeah, I can definitely say a lot of my stuff is inspired by Kanye. I'm a very, very, very big Kanye fan. I respect his work ethic and his craft. Him as a person is kind of, here and there. But it's like just his overall discography and the way he makes the music and the way he's maneuvering the music is like, it's something else. And he's like an icon of an entire like generation of artists, because he came from beat making to actually being the rapper and being the beat maker, because stuff like that was nearly unheard of, but they didn't want to hear him. But he kind of rose up and made his own name, and that's the kind of thing that I want to do for myself, is make my own name, while also being able to do every little thing in the process myself if I need be. So it's something inspiring in that case. In terms of singing, I have a lot of inspirations. Chino Marino from Deftones, he's a very prominent inspiration and someone who I listen to quite a bit during my days. Like, you will not like say if you caught me like walking somewhere and I had my headphones on, I'm probably listening to Deftones. And believe it or not, and this one's a very weird one, but Adele is an inspiration of mine. Even like, that's such a weird one, because it throws people off when I say that, because you're like, wait, what? Like, Adele, but it's like it's just her voice and her power. I aspire to have a voice like that and to be considered for my voice, even though I somewhat am, I believe now, because I've improved a lot, but I'm still not exactly where I want to be as a singer and a vocalist. So it's something I'm working on, not only in my own home, but I'm also a choir student at my school, 4 years in now, and I got a lot better because of it, because of my director. So I'd say he's also an inspiration, even though he's not like a musician. Well, he is, but not in terms of like making music and putting it out there. But you know, he still is an inspiration to me as well as the other two, and the rest goes on like Travis Scott for my melodic stuff, Don Tolliver, a lot of rock, MCR, Default, Nine Inch Nails, especially Post Malone. He's the one who inspired my vibrato sound in my songs that you'll hear a lot, especially in Tyrant. You will hear a lot in Tyrant. And yeah.
Yes, sir. Like, also, like, bro, shout out to your fucking choir director, man. Like, I didn't, like, I knew you were, like, good at singing, but I never actually knew that that would play a key role in, like, you improving. So, shout out to him if he finds this stream somehow.
He definitely improved me, and he pushes everybody to be the best person, you know, that you can possibly be.
Yeah, that's some Pokemon type shit.
Yeah, that's that's something that I really do appreciate from him.
Yes, sir. Alright, hold on. Keith. Yes, sir. Yeah, hello, Keith. We welcome to the stream. Hello, Venom. Welcome to the stream. Oh, bro, we getting people for this one. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. The hiatus. Let's move into that actually. Was the main reason you went on hiatus was the EP, or was there definitely something else involved, like mentally, or just you wanted to be like, I want to work on this EP and get this out, or something?
When it comes to the hiatus, it was definitely a mixture of a lot of different things. The EP was one of them, but it was more or less me having to find the inspiration for it, and plus I felt like the drops, like the music I've been releasing has been really, it's been pretty good for me, and I've been improving each song on something that I feel like I need to improve on, so it's great. But it's also like recently it feels like there've been a lot more doubts when it comes to the music and what I've been making, and I wanted to have that hiatus time to just chillax, play games, watch anime, just like be in, you know, my own kind of like mind and build up my mindset. And now I'm in a state of abstinence and working out, and I wake up early, and I make music. I have an alarm for 7 o'clock in the morning, and that's usually when I'm up for school, but I wake up at that time and I start making music, or I work out, or I meditate, stuff like that. So yeah.
Nice, man. Nice.
So hiatus time was just meant for me to just find what I needed to do in my life, and yeah, outside of that.
That's awesome,
So
man.
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Well, okay. This is gonna go into like more of nerdcore in general. When it comes to nerdcore as a community, we've both been here for like a good amount of time, and I'm pretty sure everybody in chat, aside from my friend Braku, has been in like nerdcore and has seen what's happening, what's what's been happening to a lot of these artists and everything that's happening in general. When it comes to nerdcore as a community, there's obviously like its flaws. Like we both can agree on that, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. When it comes to that, do you think there is definitely like there's something that nerdcore can improve on, or is there something that nerdcore can do to make it a better community for people?
Well, I think one thing that I think we all need to collectively start doing is well, aside from those who already do it, is to respect others in the community, even if they're smaller or newer or et cetera, et cetera. Just respect everybody. I do my best to respect everybody in the community, even if I don't personally like them or personally talk to them. I still do my best to respect them and not cause any scenes or any drama. And I also feel like we need to stop labeling nerdcore as a toxic community, because if we're being completely honest here, the internet does not completely show who everybody truly is. A lot of people, better yet, most of us are personas of our real selves. A lot of us aren't genuinely us when we're on the internet, because the internet is like our escape from reality for a lot of people. So when it comes to that fact, I feel like we need to start acting as if this is an internet thing and not a real life thing, because NPC just happened and a lot of the community um came together as one, and they met up and they had fun, and that's great, and they performed. And that's it's such small steps like that, but they also mean such big things for the community. And I feel like if we stop calling it, oh, it's just toxic, da 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 da, then um, it'll be better. And it's also something where we need to hold each other accountable for things that have been done, and let people make those changes, but make those changes in time. You know, things can't be rushed. Progress can't be rushed. It takes time for those things to kind of flourish and blossom. So I just want the community to be at a state of where they can, just come together and be family, because that's what we are. We make the same kind of music. We make anime music. We make video game music. We make ciphers. We do a lot of the same stuff, but it feels like a lot of people are separating each other into cliques and all this, instead of just making music and improving and focusing on the wrong things. So I think once we improve on that, and also improve on the music and bettering songs aside from the normal stuff that we drop every 2 or so weeks, then that'll also help the community out.
Yeah. So basically, people don't just focus on not just you as a person, is what you're trying to say, but also like focus and respect everybody who is either new, smaller, etc. is what you're trying to say. Don't let a persona get the best of you, is the main point.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Alright, hold on. Let's see. Yes, preach Tsuyo the wise. Canon, bro. Oh, you're fanboying and everything. Alright. Alright, when it comes to making music, not just like nerdcore in general, but just music as a whole, is there any like genres that you did back in the past, or before like all this stuff happened, or before the hiatus, or before the EP, that you wish you could go back to and do it again?
Definitely rock. I'm working on getting back into it. The UG track was the last real like rock kind of thing I did, and it was actually a very successful track in terms of me liking it, because I love that track even till this day. But as of recent, I haven't been able to do it as much because my sound changed very drastically from last year. And last year had a lot of different songs and a lot of bangers, because like around the end of the year was when a lot of my songs and my sound was changing and improving. So I respect in general just the genre of rock, and I would love to do more of it. So yeah.
If I remember, you did emo rap before. Is that still going to be a thing? Like, do you have projects like that coming out soon, or is it like being put to the side to focus on not just rock but other music?
Uh, in terms of the emo rap stuff, I've kind of grown out of it. I don't really do it. There is one song that I have with a new friend of mine that is coming up. That's in the same realm of that. So it might not technically be going away, but it's also kind of is because of the way that I make music now. So I say I'll put it to the side because I never know when I'll want to revisit it again. But I just see it as like more of a side thing.
Yeah, most people want to be able to like definitely grow from what they originally did or how they make music beforehand, etc. Um, when it comes to the EP, actually, is there anything like, is there a message towards just any sort of song or just the EP as a whole that you want to get across? Because this is original as well, right?
Yeah.
Is there any like message, or is there like a certain emotion slash feeling or just anything in general that you want to get across to people when you drop this EP, or is it just like, yeah, this is for fun or something?
It's definitely a mixture of both. It is for fun, but it's also getting the message across that it's like a new me. I'm trying new things. I'm improving my sound. Overall, it's just like a reflection of what I'm trying to change in my music personally. Give people not only just an experience as an EP and have it be fun, but also give them a story behind it and something kind of ambient and something that you can even sleep to or just like on the car ride home, just bump, you know what I'm saying? Or put on the aux. It's just fun music, but it also has a message to it. So I combine both at the same time.
Yeah, and it's good that there's definitely like something like a message towards that. Definitely, hold on. Reboot. Oh my god. Okay, so well, K9's now hyped for the EP. That's dropping in a few days now. Is that correct?
Actually, the EP, the first single drops August 20th. The EP itself has no predetermined date, but it'll probably be around beginning of September. Well, end of August to beginning of September.
Oh, okay. All right. Next question. It goes into actually the Benny Mara rap you did with Reese. It actually
Yes.
goes into like what is it? First, like the second and third thing you said in the hook. You said X's and O's really cover my pain, doubting myself through the years. I'm a slave. Um, is there any was that like in the point of view of the character, or was it a mixture of your emotion plus for the Benny Mara rap or something
It
like
was
that?
definitely a mixture of emotions. That line itself, like mind you, you can tell that it comes from me because the X's and O's really cover my pain. Like that little line specifically I took from his character because he's very nonchalant, very um kind of like chill, but there's something behind him, and I feel the same way where it's like there's something behind him, there's people kind of holding him in, or it feels like he's held into something that he doesn't want to do or be in, and that's exactly how I feel as well. So that's kind of what I took from him, and I kind of related to it, and I relate to his character a lot, so I was able to make that track into something, different.
That's awesome, man. Again with nerdcore, I feel like a lot of people, and me and you both feel like a lot of people just kind of stick with one thing because it gets them on the platform, it gets them views. One, that's probably because YouTube algorithm being completely stupid. But aside from that, do you think like obviously nerdcore can not just expand their horizons, but can just like also move from not just making anime raps but to making video game slash comic raps, because I'm pretty sure we don't see that a lot in general with this community. It's always what gets them the most like clout or what gets them the most views. Yeah.
Subscribers, yeah. And I've just never been the type to do that. Like, I'll do something so out of my comfort zone just to try it, but I don't like. I do take my fans. I definitely take my fans into some type of consideration when making songs, but not usually, because I'm usually making what I want to make, not what others are trying to make me make.
Yeah. I feel like both of us can agree that something that's overdone is, well, ciphers, and I feel like when it comes to making them, people necessarily come to bigger artists or just people in general to be like, hey, can you get on this cipher, etc., etc., and it's never like someone wanting to get on an actual track. Do you feel like when it comes to that, everything's just so limited to not just music but to nerdcore rappers or artists as a whole, because they're just limited to what they're supposed to be doing on said cipher?
I feel like on the cipher, because like I realize now, yes, ciphers are definitely made for like rapping and blah blah blah. But I'm like, because something I'm very known for in my like cipher verses is that I'm usually not doing what majority of people would do on a cipher. Most times I'm not even barring out. I'm just doing what I wanted to do on the cipher and experimenting on the cipher. And you know, ciphers as a whole, for me, it's hard to do them because a lot of them haven't changed much since, and I feel like there hasn't been a really solid cipher this year that I thought broke the boundaries of what a cipher could be in this community, because we've done it before. That's why I'm like, I just get surprised when we don't do it now, because we've done it so many times. But I think it's because ciphers they're like commonplace, and a lot of ideas have been redone over and over again, but no one's rejuvenating these ideas and changing them and making new concepts out of them. You know, one person that I think did this well was Mango. He made a Straw Hat cipher that I was on, and it was purely melodic. There was no rap verses on that entire cipher. It was just straight melodic vibes, and that was something different. But it was definitely shunned upon by like bigger names, because it was like no bars, people aren't barring out, they're just, you know, singing. But it was an experiment, but then a lot of people who were fans or viewers did like it, and that's what was important.
Yeah, I feel like it definitely is something that people not only can learn from, not just Mango, but from anyone that tries something different on any sort of cipher. But yeah. And again, with Nerdcore, you also had a lot of projects that you had in the works, and you would post them on Twitter, both Twitters, the one that before you got hacked, and then the one you have now. Is there any like genre that you plan to do in the future, or tracks that you plan to get out that you posted on Twitter, like snippets of?
One track that I ended up having to scrap was the Ichigo and Rukio one with Key, and it wasn't because it couldn't. In terms of the track itself, it sounded nice. It was just too slow, and I couldn't figure out how to do a verse for that, so it ended up being scrapped. And it would have been a nice track to drop if I could have figured it out, but I couldn't. So, you know, that is... It's unfortunate, too, because I love the hook that I did, and when I posted the snippet, I was so proud of it. And I have a lot of snippets. Are there any, like, particular ones that you would like to see? That you are...
Like in the like ones that you have coming out, or like ones that you did in the past, because there are a lot that you did in the past. I could just list them off, bro.
Yeah, just you know, just any.
All right.
That you feel like you would want to see.
All right. Well, for one, I know one snippet that you showed me, Jacob, Aiden, Young Light, and like other people. It was a Kaneki track. I was asking you when that was happening. It never happened.
The only reason why that didn't get completed was because I forgot that I couldn't get an AMV for that, because I like to get AMVs for my tracks. So, and nobody at the time could do manga AMVs, and I can't get a Kaneki AMV because of copyright, and I'd probably get it taken down. So that was not something, that I could do.
Yeah, but that was like the first time you actually tried mosh pit music or just screamo trap metal stuff, right?
Yeah, I actually have some in the in the vault that y'all gonna see in a couple of months.
Yeah, and another snippet of the screamo Tsuyo was the Beerish track that got deleted off Twitter, and I was like, bruh, that shit was amazing. It's like I've never heard that side of you. It's always been like melodics or just like something I could easily vibe to. First time I ever heard you shout was the Dobby track that you showed gave a snippet of the Dobby track you did with Vanquish. You gave a snippet of that last time you were on the show, and
yeah,
like when it came out, I heard you start like getting into the whole track and everything. And when I heard, oh, you think that I'm bold, now you started screaming or like yelling, and I was like, okay, I fuck with this. I want to see more of this. Like, bro.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, even though that guy was even shocked. He never heard that side of you, and it was the same thing with me. Because that was, well, not just new in general, but like something that was, I guess, I don't want to say hidden, but it was something that we just didn't expect, basically.
Yeah, that Dobby track definitely came from a place of anger in real life, so I was able to channel it into the track, so it worked out.
Yeah, I guess definitely was when before you even started shouting, you got like an aggressive flow, and you were like, the fuck is your thought of empowering? You're mad at me for being so different, and it just went on to that. What was like the meaning behind that? Like you said, it was coming from anger. Did it come from like family members, or just mental health, or something happening outside of the scene?
Yeah, it definitely came from my dad. I don't hate my dad, by the way. It was at a time where it was a lot of fighting and arguments, so I personally wrote about that, in the Dobby track, and you could hear it in my voice. It was like genuine, like me letting that kind of feeling out. And at first, it wasn't even like that, because the hook was legit winged. I didn't write anything. Like, I just winged that hook in 5 minutes, and people like loved it when I showed them the hook. So I was like, okay, that's cool. But then as I got into the writing process, it became more about my own family issues. And at the time, my mental health was at a really big decline. So it all kind of culminated in that track at the time, which the track is kind of old now, but back then it definitely spoke to me personally, and it definitely spoke a lot of volumes about how I was doing in my life. And I look back at it now and I cringe a little bit, but I also think I've came a long way from that side or that part of my life. So
Yeah. And bro, you look cringe at that. I should slap you for that one, bro. That shit was amazing. I don't know what you're talking about. But I guess we can go and move into mental health as well. When you joined nerdcore or started making music, did it also like play a role in your mental health as like, this is very therapeutic for me, or like when it comes to just making music in general, like every song you make, was it a way to escape or something?
yeah, it was definitely it is kind of like escapism, because back then I had a lot more friends and people who I would talk to before I kind of went into more of an isolation for my mental health due to drama and such. So it's kind of like a mix of escapism and a mix of, you know, like kind of being more cautious and kind of scared because like a lot of stuff would happen and I'd even have to turn on my Discord and Twitter notifications because I was so scared of drama happening and me missing it and being in trouble for something and not being able to defend myself properly or something happening to a friend and me not being there to help them out through it. You know, I just had anxiety of things happening to me and my friends, and I was always very protective over them, and I still am. And it kind of just it definitely changed me and changed me as a person when it came down to being in this community because I learned a lot about trust and loyalty being here, which is a good thing. But I also learned that like a lot of people can be fake and they have specific agendas that they follow for themselves and not for other people. So that's also something that I learned while being here.
That's awesome, man. And obviously now you're well doing better, right? Or something else
Yeah,
going on. Yeah, I was about to
uh,
say.
yeah, I'm definitely doing a lot better. Like my life has been uh during quarantine. It was a mix of like learning about myself, but it was also somewhat of a living hell for me. And music was the only escape from that. But now I have a girlfriend. She's great. Family's doing a lot better. We, you know, some stuff still happens, but that's okay because it's family, and I've grown to understand that now. Back from when the W track dropped to now, so a lot of my understanding of family is different. You know, I'm grinding a lot more. I'm actually getting up and being happy that I'm alive and not dreading that I'm here, but being thankful that I'm here and being thankful for even having the people who I had in my life or the supporters that support the music and et cetera, et cetera. You know.
Yeah. Alright. Alright, let's move to, I'd say, up to, a few tracks about... Alright, we already covered Many Mara, so... Was there any, like, motivation or, like, feeling or just something you wanted to get across when it came to 3 tracks that I have in mind right now? The Red Hood track that you did, the Sasuke track, and the Komi Can't Communicate track you did with Key the Weave. What were, like, your take on each track, if it, like, blah, blah, individually?
I'll start with the most recent. Communicating with that track, it was actually the editor Ronan. He had a good beginning like message that kind of encapsulated what the song was about. It was kind of about knowing what to say but not being able to say it. And me and Key wanted to capture the character of Kobe and how she felt, not being able to tell the person that she likes how they feel and not being able to personally speak. And that is something that is so hard to deal with because a lot of people in real life go through that. So we wanted to capture that in the character and in the song, and it definitely worked. And for Sasuke, is that the most recent, the second most recent one?
The second most recent one, yeah.
Yes. With Sasuke, that was just all like I labeled it a Sasuke track, but it was really about me. Because I was going through a lot a couple of months ago. It was like I lost a lot of people that were close to me. I didn't feel comfortable in my own skin or comfortable even talking to people, and I felt like a lot of people who once liked me were starting to resent me and who I was, but it didn't feel like they understood how I felt because a lot of people were kind of disregarding me and my personal emotions and feelings for their own. So I was going through that. A person I knew for like 3 years, I kind of distanced myself from them for personal reasons, and just things like that had kind of drove me to make the Sasuke song. Because in the line, it's like, I don't fight for love, something else has changed, because that's how I genuinely felt. I felt like I wasn't fighting for love anymore because I was tired, I was broken, and I couldn't think to even fight for something that I thought I couldn't get, but I was so wrong. And I realized that there's love all around me, and I started to love everything, everyone, even people who resent me. I love them. I feel like when you are good to people, or you give good vibes to other things or people in the world, you get the same like sentiment back. So that's how I want to start living life more, like, instead of living it feeling like people are just going to leave me. I have accepted that and used that to my advantage to improve and understand, people more around me. So, yeah.
Yeah. Wait. The Red Hood track. Fuck, I forgot about that one too.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And, my bad.
It's all good.
And Red Hood was just kind of just a fun track about, Jason Todd and Batman. That track legitimately had no actual
Like.
correlation to me.
Oh.
Cause I wasn't killed by any kind of person. The Joker doesn't fucking exist in real life, or so I would hope not.
Hey, yo, you never know, man.
And
It's about to be
you
like
never know,
Halloween, so you never know. Clowns are coming back. I'm telling you, clowns coming back 2022.
But I haven't been killed and came back to life by the Lazarus Pit. So that Red Hood track was just a fun little track for Red Hood, a fun little comic book track.
Okay, fair enough. I really was in my head. I was like, okay, this probably has something to do with some mental health fused with Jason Todd. In my mind, I was legit over here like, why so serious? And type shit, bro.
I'm not that. I'm not that depressing or like evil. So
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so what I'd say, like, you have a lot of stuff that you're definitely like working on, and a lot of tracks that you have created in the past. What was either your most best receiving track, or your best like track that you made and you feel like, I definitely did really well on this?
I will have to say that track is the Meliodas one. That track to me is like my pride and my fucking joy. Like, that track changed like so much about the way I thought of music, and he and Mango, especially Mango, gave ideas to the track, or chimed into my ideas and made them even better than they all like were before. And I appreciate that. I mean, they're such good partners, and I love working with them. And I would personally do it over and over again, because the product that we gave was so good that I think it's like my second or third best like performing track of the year. So
nice. I guess this can somewhat chime in or tie in with what is it? The Ryoko track with the open verse thing. You're also doing a Love is War type of open verse sometime in the future when the single drops, the EP drops, and all that other stuff drops. Are the rules technically still gonna be the same of like, you like second place gets like a free verse or some shit, third place pretty much gets the same, and then first place gets what is it? Well, the feature and shit. Is there gonna be anything else tied to that, or is it just gonna be the same as the Ryuko track? Because I remember us talking about it, but
might be.
yeah.
I was thinking of having a cash prize this time. And you know, also being on the song. Haven't decided that yet. The actual open verse is somewhat finished, so I just have to put it out to you guys. It is definitely harder though, because I will admit, for the rappers, this one isn't technically free. So I'm gonna keep it a buck. It's not a rap beat. It's a very pop, like very pop, type beat. Kind of like something. I guess like a good track example is, communicating is very much like in that realm, but it's more, I guess, upgraded version of what I did on that track. So, yeah, but they'll see in a couple of weeks.
In a couple of weeks. Alright, bet. Alright, when it comes to music, in general, do you think that there's something that people can learn from either you or other rappers in general? Like, is there something that people need to do and don't need to do, basically, is what I'm trying to say.
Um, don't compare your successes and your progression to other people's, because at the end of the day, you're not gonna progress the same as somebody else. Like a lot of people are that they get popular and like overnight, and then soon they'll just be gone. You don't want to be like that. Like, don't compare someone else's successes and what they've done and who they are to who you are, because you are you, and nobody else can be like you. You have a trait and you have things about you that nobody else can have. So my advice is just like, be mindful of that, be yourself. Be yourself in the music. Even don't lie about things that you don't do, because that can come back to bite you in the ass years later.
Yeah.
So just be mindful.
Yeah. Alright. Alright. Music timeline, I guess, because we were talking. We started talking about that in the beginning of the episode. It tied into the whole Kid Ichigo type shit. When it comes to that, just give us a timeline of like when the whole nerdcore and Kid Ichigo phase started, when it ended, when you became Tsuyo, etc.
Okay, so the Kid Ichigo stuff, it started around, if I can look, I can see exactly when, because believe it or not, the day I recorded my first track was the day I made the AMV for it. So, and dropped it that same day too. So if I go to my created playlist, old raps, first ever one that I ever did 2 years ago was a Shinra rap called Feel the Flame, and it came out May 15th, 2020. And that was the first taste of nerdcore that I had. I even made the video myself too, in the same day, and I basically made that entirely myself. And in one day, I think like an hour or so, I was just writing and having fun, and that's how that started. The Kid Ichigo phase ended, I think, around when the Gone track came out. Because when the Gone track came out, I was basically trying to improve. I had technically said I was back, but I wasn't. And that's when my name changed to Tsuyo, because the whole Tsuyo name, it means strength in Japanese. And it's just a symbol of strength, the entire name itself. And I actually got it from looking it up and researching it, and it was my Discord name before it was my actual handle on everything else. So, and then, yeah, that's how the Tsuyo arc started around August of 2020, and then I took a long break again, and then February of 2021 is when I dropped the Zuko track, which was my returning track back into music. And I also made the beat for that one. I actually made the beats for a couple of my first tracks back into nerdcore. When I became Tsuyo, I made the beat for a Sasuke track featuring Rice and the first track, Azuko rap featuring someone who I will not name. And yeah.
Yeah. Hello, Harry up front. Welcome to the stream. Alright, actually, where did you, aside from the whole, like, well, it actually, when you said, like, your whole name meaning, it actually ties into the next question of, what made you think of the name Tsuyo? What does it represent to you, exactly?
Simply what I said before, just strength, being strong. That's what the name derives from, because like one day I just looked up what strength meant, but I don't trust translate on Google, so I actually looked it up on other sites and like did like actual research to get my name the way it is, and I just chose Suyo, and the name stuck for some reason. I don't know why. Like I've had this name longer than any name I've ever had on the internet. Like I've had this name the longest out of any names that I've ever came with on the internet, and I've had a lot. Because like it's funny because like I'm even before doing the voice acting and the music and the art and etc. I used to do this is somewhat embarrassing, but I'm willing to say this. My start into YouTubing was actually doing plush videos.
Hold up. I'm gonna say this right now. I did the same thing, so you're not alone.
Yeah, it's like a lot of people I know were doing that before, and we all did it together, and it was like kind of a thing, like a community. And if y'all thought nerdcore was somehow toxic, even though it's not, then if y'all were in the Mario plush community or whatever the fuck at the time, it was way worse. As a kid, I was exposed to so much toxicity doing that kind of content. But that was that was me being a kid. I stopped at like 14, so I didn't even do it for long. I think I started like when I was 12 and then stopped when I was like 14, so like a couple of years of doing it, but I knew it wasn't going to get me far, so it wasn't something that I continued to do. It's something that I just like, okay, this was a phase, now on to the next thing.
Yeah, bro, for me, I thought you would have started off doing like just gaming content in general. I didn't expect that to be like,
yeah,
oh,
that's how the filming actually came into it, because I still have the camera I used to do all those like videos on, and I still have the videos too.
Wait, you still have them on YouTube, or like you still have them like in your computer?
They're on YouTube. They're just private.
Damn
There's
it.
actually videos of my face too, like almost 4 years ago.
Oh shit.
It's that old. Like I still have it. Like from I think 8th grade was when I ended it. So it was like, again, it's it's super embarrassing. I hate talking about it because it was such an old phase of my life that I like used to do that. But it definitely brought a lot of creativity out of me, and it also helped me start or continue to write stories like I do now, since I'm also a writer.
Yeah. Alright, do you have any projects coming out, like just like music, aside from the EP and aside from the single and aside from the open verse? Do you have any fuck, I hit my hand. Alright, do you have any like other projects coming out, like just from music in general, the manga thing coming out, or do you have like something planned that you want to try and you feel like it would be a good idea or something?
Music wise, it's really just a couple of EPs, most likely. Some like EPs, maybe 2 more for the rest of the year. That's kind of like a little sneak peek thingy just for all in this podcast. And manga wise, me and Kagami are gonna be trying to get published or make our own publishing kind of company. So there's that. That's a bigger project though, very wide scale project. And I also plan to start trying to release light novels and books. So that's also something that I'll be doing in the future. So a lot of bigger scale projects in my life. So that'll be something to look forward to in the next year or so.
Oh, bro, I'm telling you now, if I see them shits, I'm buying them. I'm gonna tag you and be like, "Yo, I got your books, nerd." Just
Yeah, that'd be so cool because I just want people to like. Because I'm before I ever did this, I was known for writing stories and making comics. I got published. I did a comic a long time ago. A long time ago, I was 13. I got published at 13 years old in a comic magazine kind of like publisher thing like Jump. That was years ago, and I was 13, and I also drew it myself. It was bad, but it happened.
If it was funny, it works. Anything funny when it comes to comics, it kind of works, I think.
Yeah, it was actually a serious thing, but it was a very weird concept that if made today could work, but I wouldn't touch it again because that was a part of my childhood that I'm keeping in my childhood, like the whole DeviantArt. Actually, my face is on DeviantArt from when I was 13, but no one is gonna find it because they didn't know what my old name was.
One day I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna just send it to you in DMs. That's the day I
I
get
sent it once before.
Wait, what?
I sent it once before. Yeah, I said like I forgot who, but I remember I sent it once before to like friends and shit, and they're like, "Was that you?" And I'm like, "I don't know, was it?" It's like the most embarrassing picture possible, and it doesn't even look like how I look now. So it's like stuff like that. Like there's a whole lot of hidden gems from me on the internet that you could find if you knew me enough.
Yeah. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm telling you. I'm just figuring it out one day. One fucking day. I'm gonna just go into DMs and find it. Yeah. Because I feel like, yeah, we had most of the same thing going on with like the whole plush videos and everything, like music, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I've been on the internet. I've been doing stuff on the internet for years, like years.
It's awesome, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, hold on. Can you please unfriend derivative, please? Only for 2. Oh my god. K9 wants to see him.
I couldn't do it. I can't watch them myself. They're just there. I just couldn't do it. It bothers my soul to even look at them. Like old shit makes me cringe. Like it's so hard for me to like watch them. And there's even older shit. So that's not even all the shit that I have. There's way older shit that y'all haven't even seen.
Is it on the same channel or is it on a separate channel?
It's on a separate channel. But I have shit from I think even as close to like 2012.
Oh shit. Oh god.
Like literally, bro. It's
I'm guessing
a
all
lot.
that and I'm guessing all that shit's privated.
Yeah, there's live streams too, with face cam.
Oh god. Okay. Alright, I'd say this is a good place to end. We've definitely entered a lot of people definitely now know the realm of you as a person and how you started YouTube, how all that shit came about. First off, thanks for hopping back on the show, man. It's been a minute since we've done an episode like this, and
Yeah.
do you have any closing statements that you would like to say?
No, not entirely, except for just those who are watching. Just keep working, keep going at it. I'm still trying to work and keep at it. I still have a long ways to go. So yeah, that's about it for me.
Alright, cool. For those still watching, thank you so much for watching. I will be editing the description when this is actually whole like published and everything. shout out to Tsuyo. I'll be linking all his stuff in the description. Yeah, you know, keep an eye out for new stuff. Join the Discord. I'll be linking that in the description from now on. Yeah. You're probably not gonna be seeing Tsuyo on other projects because I'm broke. You know how it be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, Sue, thanks for coming on the show, and yeah. Wait.
Peace, y'all.
Yeah. See you guys the next time I do something like this. Peace.
Peace.
Excellence on the track.
Limitless power in my bones. Gods never die, they live alone. Face me once, he's dead and gone. Look into my eyes, I'm not alone. Limitless power in my bones. Gods never die, they live alone. Face me once, he's dead and gone. Look into my eyes, I'm not alone.
Limitless domain, you cannot step in my circle. Red